What is up, guys? It's Shani with Healing Elements. How are you doing? Welcoming, of course, you back with love and with light to my channel. If you are new to my YouTube channel, I genuinely welcome you. Truly, truly, soul family member, glad to have you. I truly also appreciate all the support everyone gives to my life path within Healing Elements. You can always support my channel by subscribing, sharing my videos to your social media, checking out my Instagram, my podcast, giving videos a thumbs up, and definitely commenting. I read every single comment and wholeheartedly appreciate the connectivity and interaction with you all. Truly, I do. If also you want a notification when I post new content, you can click on the bell icon alongside the subscribe button. That way you will know whenever I post new videos to my channel. So guys, this is the newest addition to my playlist on YouTube and to my podcast, all about spirit animals. So if throughout your life you've ever resonated with a specific spirit animal, perhaps one of them is within this list. If not, I am up for suggestions and have done videos that viewers have suggested in the past. Or if you particularly are going through something currently in your life and are being guided, or were guided here to find out themes associated with, specific animal totems and the symbolic meanings behind them, I invite you also to take a listen. Sit back, reflect, and see if any of the traits that I describe in my personal interpretations and also, historical symbolism within it, these spirit animals, have any specific meaning to you. Perhaps you were guided here to just get a message of any kind, which is what I and Healing Elements is all about. Just positive affirmations, any guidance, and just taking a deep dive into the psyche and spirit in a variety of ways. So, if you have never inquired about spirit animals or resonated with any animal totem or specific spirit animal previous to coming across this video, I am certainly glad you're listening. As I have said at all of the beginning of the spirit animal videos, this is my suggestion. I suggest just intuitively picking one or maybe two that call out to you within this list. Take a listen, and perhaps you just might discover your spirit animal. So today's podcast and YouTube video is all about the beautiful, meaningful spirit of the frog spirit animal. And I find it so significant to talk about and make this frog spirit animal content in the climate that we find ourselves in 2020, in which I believe after you listen to this podcast and video, you will agree that we would all benefit from, even one of the themes and symbolism associated with the frog spirit, if not all of them. So some key themes that correlate with the frog spirit animal meaning is transmutation and adaptation. So adapting and being able to mutate, mutability. Of course, that is indicative when we find, the frog coming out looking different, a tadpole swimming, and then being able to progressively transmute and transmutate into a frog, totally different looking creature. It symbolizes, mutability, transitions of any sort, progression that invokes change, and the change is profound. It also symbolizes advancing skills and acquiring brand new gifts and abilities after each phase of your life has passed, like the frog does in the wild. It also, of course, is a big, big symbolic meaning about fertility and parenthood and being a mentor or caretaker. Birth, fertility. Some frogs in the wilds can give, birth to clutches of hundreds of eggs, some of them in a year, thousands, like 4,000 eggs. They have also, a big emphasis, the frog spirit animal, about survivability, just like some of our other favorite spirit animals. They have been on Earth for over 200 million years. And when a great travesty to many species, i.e. when the dinosaurs went extinct, the frog species actually flourished even more. They became more diverse and abundant and thrived even more so. So those of you who resonate with the frog spirit animal themes, when an environment or those residing in an environment vanish or are extinguished or changed or quite literally are gone and dead, the frog spirit person teaches us and embodies the theme of, instead of becoming less than, we become greater than before. So another big symbol with the frog is the necessity, just like the bear spirit, to hibernate and to be able to sustain long term by reserving what you need to and doing incredible feats, whatever is needed in order to adapt to changes that come your way that will infringe upon your ability to survive. This will be explored here in a minute in very, very great detail. I really wanted to speak about hibernation and the two properties that go into hibernating: the ability to self-preserve and grow stronger while hibernating, and also the ability to do whatever it takes to withstand the length of the deprivation experienced and the reason why having to go in hibernation, i.e. 2020, right guys? Also some Native American clans, some of their symbolic meanings for the frog spirit, or their totem poles, the frog on them symbolizes survival, also the season of spring, and of course that is indicative to new life, as I said, birth, fertility. Also, some clans in the north region of North America attribute the frog spirit to divine communication, almost communication with ease, of humility and emotion. It's also considered by some clans to be a symbol, if you are particularly seeing a frog in the wild quite often and had not before, that you are living a very fulfilling, enriching, emotionally meaningful life, or something of that nature will come in. It is also associated with some Native American tribes with the water element, so the emotion, the meaning of distinct emotional phases and the difference of the feeling that goes into the spectrum of angry, embarrassed, sad, joyful, etc. So guys, moving on, I think it's very, very intriguing that they call a group of sheep a flock, right? Well, the term that they use to call a large or any group of frogs is called an army, right? An army. And I've been speaking for a few years about this sort of channeled message that we are in a spiritual boot camp, and that 2020 and for the foreseeable future would be a battle of a spiritual and also tangible sense. And I think we all can agree that that has definitely occurred in many ways in 2020, whether it's the civil unrest, the COVID-19, or stress regarding the things that come after those changes, and kind of dips into the way in which we survive. So adapting and adaptability and transitioning through this stage is very imperative. So be the amphibian soldier, guys. We are a group of frogs at this point. We are an army. Speaking first about the very, very important theme with the frog spirit animal, guys, if you relate to these traits, you are a transmutation hero. You know, there is more than meets the eye with you. Your life path lesson, or one of them, is to learn, or to progressively learn, and on the way teach people the absolute imperative importance of getting to know and trusting others, even if at first glance you may be inclined to dislike that person or situation, right? It's like that age-old fairy tale, the princess and the frog, right? Some of your most important themes and lessons and self-reflecting, writings in your journals tend to be, if you resonate with the frog spirit, about learning, to learn that sometimes that old adage of the first impression is the best impression does not hold truth. And this really calls out to you and sings to you if you resonate with the frog spirit animal. An example is, again, that fairy tale, the princess and the frog. She definitely, in the fairy tale, trusts her intuition, her moral compass, and these moral codes and kind of depth of integrity, circumstances, and characteristics in this frog that she witnesses. And over time, you embody this and you form an accurate opinion of someone or a situation, based on what your experience is dealing with that person or situation, not what it may look like, either to yourself or to others, right? It's kind of like the beauty and the beast, so to speak. But I thought, of course, Princess and the Frog is a perfect metaphor. So your life definitely may be filled with blessings in disguise that you are strong enough as someone who resonates with the frog spirit to allow to unfold, and to, again, as a few of the spirit animals do embody, to never judge a book by its cover. And that is beautiful in this day and age, my friends. On to another very major and beautiful theme that we all can embody at this time, I believe. And those of you who definitely resonate lifelong with the spirit of the frog, you are an adaptation hero. You adapt. You are, very, very, very comfortable with change, and you adapt accordingly as if it is actually something welcomed. You are equipped with superb talent as well. So when you need to adapt, you're equipped with this talent. Like when somebody asks you to jump, you do not jump to conform, but to perform and to survive. And you ask how high, right? In the wild, frogs jump 20 times their own height. So there's no feet that you cannot jump to. There is nothing too high for you to reach, no matter what you have to change and what skills or living environment that you have to adapt to. You will jump high, the highest, and survive. Frogs adapt and overcome any known necessity that is required for surviving. For example, some frogs, most, I believe all frogs actually, do not have to even drink water at all. They do not have to drink water. So they get their hydration from absorbing water through their skin. So if you can imagine, at some point in evolution or whatnot, the frog and also the frog spirit animal people will do whatever they have to, including changing the way in which they are able to get that in which sustains them. There is an Indonesian frog, actually, that has no lungs. Amazing, but true. It actually breathes through their skin, right? So you, in your life, if you resonate with this frog spirit, you make unusual yet uncanny and successful, brilliant changes in like protocol. Let's say protocol, the way you go about things to enhance survival, not just surviving, but again, surviving even greater than you were surviving before. So, thriving with this newfound way that you adapt to doing things is a huge quality with the spirit animal of the frog. And again, I mentioned earlier I would talk about what I deem to be one of the most important themes about the spirit animal of the frog, especially right now in these times. So important. Hibernation, guys, hibernation. I mentioned this in a couple other videos of spirit. There are creatures in the wild who ingeniously, like the bear, hibernate. The frog is amazing, and I will give a couple of examples why. So you guys, when needed, you retreat, and when you retreat and quote-unquote hibernate, you experience immense growth, renewed strength of the utmost core, diamond strong abilities. Just as frogs in nature, they go into hibernation, and each time they do, this is a fact, they actually grow stronger tangibly, physically. Scientists, research shows that every time a frog goes into hibernation, they form a brand new layer of bone, right? A brand new layer of bone, like the shark's teeth. But a fun fact, just like the rings on a tree, scientists can tell a frog's age by counting these bone layers. So again, that metaphor I felt so important regarding the principle of hibernation, guys. While we are, let's say, a stay-at-home order, while we are unable to work where we used to because of COVID or whatever's going on, while we are unable to change police brutality right now in this interim, it's okay. While we are hibernating and doing the work and experiencing growth and renewal of strength, of value and moral purpose, right? While we are hibernating, not to worry, these new layers of beautiful emotional strength, just like the layers of bone in a frog, it adds just like an onion to us, and it creates a stronger foundation for when we are able to get out of the said hibernation. And just, in line also with the adaptation and the mutation theme. Just like the snake, spirit animal embodies a rebirth as it sheds its old skin. The frog, actually in nature, does molt as well. The frog spirit symbolizes big time this theme as well. The frog, however, I found it fascinating, molts once a week. So if you resonate with the animal spirit of the frog, you are constantly changing your entire life through and changing on an ever revolving, cyclical, habitual cycle that is second nature. It's not something that you actually put your mind into. And it's intriguing, and some people probably will find this grotesque, but I love nature. It thrills me, and I don't find anything in this beautiful universe grotesque. But the frog, unlike other creatures that molt, they eat their skin that they shed. There's nothing that they waste. So their survivability goes on to not wasting that old skin. They eat it. Also symbolic to like, yes, the old is gone. I'm going to swallow that ish down, right? I haven't checked into it, but my son actually told me he saw a bearded dragon at a new, really sweet new friend that he is talking to. Bearded dragon, he says, also eats their shedded skin. I'll have to check into that. So there are other themes I wanted to talk about, which I find so important regarding the hibernation symbolism with the spirit of the frog. So, there are times, just as I've spoke about now is one of them in 2020, that things that, we're accustomed to that attribute to our survival change without our choice drastically, or cease to exist even. And the frog spirit, or people who resonate with this energy, really have this beautiful message to preach and teach. They teach us, you teach us, we have the unflinching capacity to survive anything that we are deprived of, come what may. So aside from, the regeneration of strength theme, and, the shedding of the skin once a week and growing of new, within hibernation, the power of shutting down, going without, like the Buddha principles, surrendering to the loss with humility, is a symbol with the spirit animal of the frog. This is seen as an example in the wild with the wood frog. It's very neat. When the wood frog gets too cold to sustain life, his body begins to purposefully shut down. So beautiful. He slows his heartbeat and his breathing, and he does not move a single muscle. Sounds like some powerful meditation, huh, frog people? You'll get that if you resonate with the frog spirit. The frog's cells usually are filled with water, like a saline solution. But in this case, when he goes through this process, this water freezes and is then replaced with this fluid of a mixture of glucose, like sugar, okay? And this then prevents the cells from imploding or, collapsing or being destroyed. So then when the cold subsides, when what we are as people, right, that we were deprived of comes back, which everything always is regenerated. So, when the cold subsides and the temperatures warm up, the frog warms up, and all of his functions return to normal, just like before this incredible survival strategy of his occurred. So the wood frog is as good as new after all of that, which in some cases, when scientists were first studying this, they mistook these hibernating frogs as being dead. That is how amazing of a transformation, a transition, a transmutation in order to survive is. So another beautiful, beautiful theme, of course, that is symbolic with the spirit animal of the frog. Also, heavy implications and indicative of the Native Americans' belief of this beautiful spirit is fertility, parenthood, and mentorship. Again, frogs can have hundreds of eggs at a time, and the frog spirit is just another beautiful spirit animal that embodies this beautiful, beautiful depth of love and amazing set of skills that ensure their offspring's survival. Male frogs often take on various stages of caring for the eggs and for the tadpoles. For example, there's the Darwin frog. The Darwin frog is incredible. After his tadpoles hatch from their eggs, he actually swallows them. So just like, let's say, a kangaroo keeps its joey protected within her pouch until it's, viable and strong and able to survive outside in the wild, the Darwin frog keeps his tadpoles carefully, gently nurturing and growing inside of his, check this out, his vocal sac, it's called, for up to 60 whole days. Patiently waiting for them to grow. And so when they grow into fully formed frogs in there, he simply coughs each one, alive and well, out to thrive, to survive, and to one day beautifully do the same thing for their little froggies, right? So, you are that immensely important, emotional, maternal, nurturing, water element type parental force of tenacity, of pure, unflinching, unconditional love, of genius and protection for your children, or all you consider to be your tadpoles, the community youth, even your children, biological or otherwise, students, and even extended families and friends kids often run to you because they sense something amazing and accepting about the way that you treat them. Another story to leave off regarding the symbolic meaning regarding fertility and parenthood and absolute protection of youth with the frog spirit animal is a story that I personally saw years ago on a documentary. It is beautiful. You probably can Google or YouTube it. It is a male frog, huge. I think he probably was a bullfrog, but he was a daddy frog, and his young, these tadpoles, were stuck in a puddle. So the big pond somehow dried up, and the tadpoles were in peril because they were in a small little puddle, and it was separated by a breach of mud, of land, to get to the large pond. So I was fascinated because this frog, this father frog, spent hours specifically building a ditch that was like the Panama Canal that connected the puddle to the pond with his legs, shoveling mud forever, deliberately taking note of which tadpoles were able to come, and would even go when there was a couple of stragglers there and assist them with his frog legs. I thought that was ingenious and beautiful, and just speaks to the power of love and our children and what we will do to survive and have our offspring survive. Another thing that is really, really imperative and beautiful, I believe, because in this life we have pacifism, of course, but we also have the warrior spirit. It is, to me, namaste, but to me it is all about being defensive, like that Bruce Lee praying mantis type. I'm at the ready, but I'm not going to attack if not endangered. But the frog spirit animal, by far, although doesn't sound like maybe the shark spirit or snake or tiger spirit because of maybe its size or what it has looked like, again, looks can be deceiving, because for the frog spirit animal people and the frog, there is poison on deck ready for all who dare to endanger them, their tadpoles, or their loved ones in the circle of trust, or their survivability in general. So, just as the spirit animal of the scorpion, they have a hidden, very lethal, deadly weapon. Some frogs, even some smaller than your palm in the rainforest, have brightly colored bodies, a clear warning, as you know, to any predator that if you mess with them, they do have poisonous venom contained on and within them, and will have the final say, and you're not going to win the battle. As a matter of fact, some dart frogs can produce such venomous, poisonous toxin that only 1 gram of this toxin could easily kill over 100,000 people. It is unbelievable what scientists are currently studying about the, benefits to health, and also things that can assist us with warding off maybe, viruses or infiltrators into the biological frame, right, within these poisons. Sort of like, the snake and the anti-venom type of thing, or the vaccination type of deal. So one big theme that with the frog spirit animal people is you guys have a beautifully hidden, but a ferocious hidden weaponry of defense at the ready. So people learn very quickly not to provoke you verbally or provoke those you love, or otherwise come into any kind of conflict, with the way in which you are able to survive. So, another metaphor that I will leave you off with to end this description of the frog spirit animal is, again, just like in the tale where the princess and the frog. Like, the princess kisses a frog without having knowledge, right? That it will benefit her in any way. And this is symbolic of manifesting abundance. She acts purely with integrity and is pleasantly surprised to her benefit that he turns into her prince, right? So metaphorically speaking, you guys are beautiful at manifesting abundance and having a rich life, you know, tangibly and emotionally. The frog spirit animal people, or the theme of the frog spirit totem, embraces this concept that manifesting abundance, you know, to manifest abundance, this theme is imperative of practicing giving without expecting anything in return, practicing humility and constant, sincere gratitude for what you have, and receiving abundance karmically in return due to this, in an act of love and integrity. So, guys, many, many blessings to you. I feel at the time we all need to use a blend of many of the spirit animals that I've spoke about within this playlist. But I thank you so much for taking a listen to yet another addition to the playlist all about spirit animals. This has been all about the spirit animal of the frog. Blessings, love, and light, soul fam.